Yeah, well, Hawthorn, very talented squad in good form. So yeah, expecting another very tough hit out. They've got really good strengths across the field, and their midfield with Burgoyne in there is really as good as any going around. So having two good ruckmen, I think they would be pretty happy with that. Yeah, well, we have to first of all match them in the midfield. That's going to be the key thing, because that really dictates your inside 50s, and if we can get our inside 50s up, then we believe we'll be in the game. Yeah, well, we've had a good look at that, and so we've got a fair idea which way we'll go, and fair to say, you know, we still rate our young key defenders strongly, and we still rate our captain as a good key defender. You've got to do your best, you know. Put a good player in and see how they go. It's going to be a challenge, and it's pretty much the same across the field. Someone has to play on Cyril Rioli and Luke Hodge and Sam Mitchell and all those guys. So we'll pick a team that we think can match up pretty well and give it our best shot. Yeah, it's a great effort. You know, a milestone along the way for him. And he's been a great servant over these 200 games for us.
Took him 3 or 4 years to probably hit his straps. Does that give a bit of encouragement to Mackenzie and Brent?
Yeah, definitely. You know, he started at a team that had McIntosh and Jakovic still playing, and played some games as a backup defender or on the third tall forward. And when those guys retired, he stepped up and took up the key position role and has done it brilliantly for us. But yeah, he wasn't a walk-up start in the team for a few years. Yeah, definitely. He's pushed every week to start. Yeah, whether he does or not will depend on what we think we need from the team this week. But you know, he showed good form in the pre-season, got his way into the squad at the start, and every week he's put his hand up and been available to play a full game. So we'll weigh that up. Yeah, I think Kerry, and he's publicly said that he's noticed a difference in how quickly teams are on you. You know, the less time you have to use a footy, and that's around the way the game is these days. It's you know, you've got, I think Geelong on the weekend had nearly 500 possessions, when 7 or 8 years ago the norm was 280 possessions. You know, it's a massive difference, and that's still in 120 minutes of football. So that must mean that the time between possessions is less, and therefore the time you've got to use a footy is a lot less. And Curry's learning that now, and plus he's only 2 games back, you know, from a year out of footy, so it will take him a few more weeks to pick up the real speed of the game. What tells me he's on track is getting through games and backing up and being able to play each week. You know, we'll make a judgment on what we expect in terms of output in the game. I don't expect him to be at his absolute best for a number of weeks yet, and he's getting just as much attention as if he was in red hot form. So it's going to be tough work for him to get back to his best quickly, because teams aren't going to just let him run into form. But he's getting through the games, and he's pulling up pretty well. So he's on track to build up his AFL match fitness and be ready to show what he can do. No, he can run as soon as he's comfortable, which knowing Bo was probably yesterday. Exercise bike, he'll be on the bike. So yeah, he'll be doing plenty of work, and then he's got his arm in that brace for a few weeks. Once it's out of that brace, then he can start doing his full you know, muscle rehab on the arm and things like that. I think in round 1 we were forced to use it early, so that saved us a bit, having a fresh player to replace an injured player. You still lose a bit then later because you haven't got your sub to bring on fresh late in the game as a strategy, but in terms of not being a player down for a whole game, that saved us. And in the last 2 games we've brought a fresh player on late in the game, and that's been good for us, but we won 1 and we lost 1. So overall, I think being able to replace an injured player that may go down early in the game is what the sub rule's there for, and it's been effective in that use. Yeah, we're lucky. We've got a lot of players in really good form, and That's how we would like to see it. You know, Callum Wilson, and we can go through a lot. Tom Swift, Ashton Hams, Brad Shepherd on the weekend. So Tim Houlihan. There's a lot of players in really good form, and we'll give them due consideration.